traced our dreams on the ceiling. Every star was ours to hold. Every promise felt like forever, but forever turned to cold. Your hand slipped from my fingers like the tide slips from the shore. I'm standing here in the ruins of a love I can't restore. I replay every moment where we laughed and we cried. The echoes of our forever still live on inside. Where did our forever go? Did it fade into the night? Was it a dream that we believed in, or just a trick of light? I thought our hearts were endless, but the world said otherwise. Where did our forever go? Why do I still hear your sighs? I see your smile in reflections in the window of my mind. Every shadow reminds me of the love we left behind. The songs we swore we'd remember now play quietly on repeat. I reached for something lasting, but it vanished in defeat. Time doesn't fix the silence, it only grows it deep. The pieces of our forever are the secrets that I keep. Where did our forever go? Was it lost or set in stone? I'm holding on to echoes of a love we've outgrown. I thought our hearts were endless, but the world said otherwise. Where did our forever go? Why do I still hear your sighs? If love could stay forever, we'd still be side by side. But forever isn't promised, it's the moments that collide. And maybe that's the lesson that we were meant to know. Forever isn't forever, it's the space we let go. I walk through empty hallways where your laughter used to be. Every step is a question, every breath a memory. Where did our forever go? Was it buried in the past, or hidden in the quiet where nothing ever lasts? I thought our hearts were endless, but the world said otherwise. Where did our forever go? I still feel it in my eyes. I'll keep the pieces with me even if we're worlds apart. Where did our forever go? It's still living in my heart. I packed my clothes in silence, left the key there on the shelf. Told myself I'd be alright, told myself I'd be myself. But the mirror feels unfamiliar, like it knows what I won't say. There's a shadow in my outline that never went away. You didn't beg, I didn't fight, we let it fall apart. But something in that quiet room still echoes in my heart. 'Cause half of me stayed with you in the corner of that bed, in the words we never finished, in the tears we never shed. Half of me stayed frozen in the night you closed the door. I walked away in body, but I'm not whole anymore. I hear your voice in traffic, in the static on the line, in every late night confession that was almost mine. I tried to drown the memory in someone else's skin, but every touch just reminded me of the shape you fit me in. We said it was for the better, like that would ease the bruise, but walking out was easy compared to losing you. 'Cause half of me stayed with you in the dust upon the floor, in the coffee rings and broken things we don't talk about anymore. Half of me is restless, like it's waiting in that room. I learned to live without you, but I still live with you. Maybe love doesn't leave clean, maybe it splits you in two. Maybe healing isn't moving on, it's learning to miss you. If I ever seem distant, if I don't feel the same, it's because a piece of my heart still answers to your name. I thought time would gather all the pieces I lost, but some things aren't returned, no matter the cost. Half of me stayed with you in the breath I couldn't take, in the silence after midnight, in every small mistake. Half of me is somewhere that I can't reach anymore. I walked away in body, but I left my core. So if you ever feel it, like something's incomplete, maybe that's the half of me still lying at your feet. Half of me stayed with you, and it never came home.
Didn't slam the door, you didn't raise your voice, you just stood there in the silence, like leaving was your only choice. Your suitcase by the hallway, your shadow on the floor. I felt the distance growing, before you reach the door. No thunder, no explosion, no shattered glass around, just the quiet between us, slowly breaking down. If goodbye had a sound, I think it would be this: the space between our heartbeats, right before the final kiss. If goodbye had a sound, it'd be barely breathing air, a whisper turning colder, hanging in the air. It wouldn't scream or cry, it wouldn't make a scene. If goodbye had a sound, it would sound like you and me. Your fingers slipped from mine, like they were never meant to stay. You said, take care of yourself now, then you slowly walked away. No music in the background, no dramatic last embrace, just the echo of your footsteps fading from this place. I thought it would be louder, thought it would leave a mark, but the softest kind of ending can still tear you apart. If goodbye had a sound, it'd be a breaking thread, a picture falling quietly from the wall above the bed. If goodbye had a sound, it'd be the turning of a key, the lock clicking shut on what we used to be. It wouldn't scream or cry, it wouldn't make a scene. If goodbye had a sound, it would sound like you and me. Maybe love doesn't shatter, maybe it just fades, like a song you barely hear as it slowly decays. And maybe that's what hurts the most. There was no warning sign, just a quiet kind of ending, leaving me behind. No violins were playing, no rain began to fall, just the stillness of the moment when I lost it all. If goodbye had a sound, it'd be the air between our words, the silence in your I love you that I finally heard. If goodbye had a sound, it'd be the hollow in my chest, the calm before the emptiness, the ache I can't confess. It wouldn't scream or cry, it wouldn't make a scene. If goodbye had a sound, it would sound like you and me. Now the house is quiet, but it's louder than it seems. If goodbye had a sound, it still echoes in my dreams.
You hold me like a secret, like time is running out. Your hands are shaking slightly, but your lips don't make a sound. There's something in your eyes tonight that wasn't there before, like you're already halfway gone, standing at the door. Don't say it if it's over. Don't let the silence speak. Just stay right here a little more before you set me free. So love me like you're leaving, like this is our last night, like you're trying to memorize the way I breathe, the way I sigh. Hold me like tomorrow won't ever feel the same. Kiss me like you're sorry, like you're the one to blame. If this is where it ends, then don't you let me grieve alone. Love me like you're leaving before you let me go. Your heartbeat feels unsteady, pressed against my skin, like it's counting down the seconds till the goodbye begins. You whisper that you love me, but it sounds like a prayer, like something you are offering before you disappear. I can taste the ending in the trembling of your touch. We don't say the words, but they're hurting just as much. So love me like you're leaving, like you won't look back again, like this is the last moment, we're more than just pretend. Hold me like you need me, even if it's a lie. Make it feel like forever, just for one more night. If this is where it ends, let it burn into my soul. Love me like you're leaving before you let me go. If goodbye is coming, let it come in flames. Let it leave a scar, so I can say we weren't the same. Don't fade out slowly, don't drift into the dark. Give me something strong enough to survive this broken heart. Soft breakdown. Maybe love was never meant to stay as long as we believed. But if you're walking out that door, then love me like you're leaving. So love me like you're leaving, like the night is almost gone, like you're trying to hold on to what we had all along. Hold me like it matters, like you're scared to lose control. Kiss me like you feel it down to your bones. If this is where it ends, let it be something I can hold. Love me like you're leaving before you let me go. Your arms are slowly loosening, your shadow's at the door. You love me like you're leaving, and now you're gone. I heard your name in a crowded room, though nobody called it out. It slipped between the music like a whisper wrapped in doubt. I turned around expecting to see you standing there, but all I found was empty space and strangers unaware. It's funny how a memory can sound so real at night. One syllable can pull me back to when we felt so right. Your name still echoes through these quiet halls, bouncing off the walls of everything we were. Your name still echoes, even when I try to let it fall. It lingers in the silence like a shadow in my soul. I try to say it softly just to see how it would feel, but it trembled on my lips like a wound that wouldn't heal. Every letter carries a story I can't erase. Every vowel holds the shape of your face. Time keeps moving forward, but some things never change. No matter how I rearrange, the sound remains. Your name still echoes in the corners of my mind, like a melody I never meant to keep. Your name still echoes for the spaces left behind. It wakes me from my sleep. If I could have learned the way it rolls off my tongue, maybe I could finally say we're done. But it's written in my heartbeat, carved into my brain, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't forget. Soft breakdown, I don't say it out loud anymore, but it's louder in my head. Some loves don't disappear, they just echo instead. Your name still echoes through the chambers of my heart, like a song that never got to end. Your name still echoes, even though we're worlds apart. It finds me now and then. I try to drown the memory, but it always overflows. Your name still echoes, and I don't know how to let it go. Maybe someday it won't feel this close, but tonight in the silence, your name still echoes. There's a lamp beside the mirror, casting shadows on the wall. Golden halos in the silence, like it doesn't know it all. Your picture's face down on the dresser, but I know it's still there. I don't need to see your smile to feel you everywhere. The night is whispering your name in a voice I can't ignore. Every tear falls gently, like it's fallen here before. I'm crying in soft light, where the truth looks less severe, where the darkness holds me closer and you almost feel near. I let the shadows hide me from the breaking of my pride. I'm crying in soft light, with no one by my side. The city's sleeping outside, but my heart won't rest. Your absence is a weight pressed heavy on my chest. I replay every moment like a film I can't rewind, searching for the second where you started saying goodbye. I told myself I'd be okay, that I'd be strong somehow, but strength feels like a stranger in this lonely hour now. I'm crying in soft light, where the memories glow warm, where the pain feels almost gentle, like the calm before a storm. I let the silence hold me till the tears have all run dry. I'm crying in soft light, underneath a quiet sky. If love is just a lesson, why does it hurt this deep? Why does your goodbye still follow me in sleep? I would trade this fragile pride for one more honest try, but the light keeps flickering, like it knows you're not mine. Soft breakdown, maybe healing starts right here, in the quiet of the night, when no one sees the breaking in this soft and fragile light. I'm crying in soft light, where forever fades to gray, where the warmth we used to hold slowly slips away. I let the truth surround me, though it's tearing me apart. I'm crying in soft light, with your ghost inside my heart. The lamp is slowly dimming, and the tears have said their part. Still crying in soft light, still holding on to what we were. We met like summer lightning, right against the dark. Two restless hearts colliding, leaving fire in the sparks. We never talked about forever, we were living for the now. Every touch felt like a promise, we just never asked how. We were reckless with our feelings, like time was standing still. Didn't know that love could fade, even when it feels so real. We were beautiful for a moment, like a sunset burning gold, like a story meant for midnight that was never meant to hold. We were perfect in the silence, where the world just disappeared. We were beautiful for a moment, before the ending found us here. Your laughter filled the city like it only sang for me. Every kiss felt like forever in a fragile melody. But the morning brought the questions we were scared to say out loud. Love was louder in the darkness, but it trembled in the crowd. You said maybe we're just passing through, like we both already knew. Some flames burned bright and fast, then turned to smoke and blue. We were beautiful for a moment, like a wave against the shore, like a dream you don't remember when you wake up wanting more. We were perfect in the breaking, even as we fell apart. We were beautiful for a moment, and that moment broke my heart. If I could freeze that evening with your head against my chest, I'd stay inside that heartbeat before we knew the rest. Maybe love's not measured by how long it gets to stay. Maybe it's the way it shines before it slips away. We were never meant for always, but we were real enough to feel. And even now I can't deny how beautiful it was to heal. We were beautiful for a moment, like a fire in the rain, like a whisper in the chaos, like pleasure wrapped in pain. We were magic in the fragile, in the way we let it start. We were beautiful for a moment, and that moment lives inside my heart. Now the night feels colder, but I'm grateful it was truer. We were beautiful for a moment, me and you.
There's a chair beside the window where the sunlight used to fall. You'd sit and talk for hours, now it doesn't speak at all. Your jacket's in the hallway, like you're coming back someday. But dust has settled gently on the words we didn't say. I try to move the memories, but they won't let me through. Every corner of the silence still belongs to you. There's a space you still hold in the middle of my chest, like a door that won't stay closed, no matter how I rest. I've tried to fill the distance with someone new to start, but there's a space you still hold in the quiet of my heart. I changed the sheets, the pictures, even painted all the walls, but every color turns into the shadow of your call. The nights are longer lately since you took your warmth away. I leave the light on sometimes, like you might lose your way. I tell myself you're just a ghost, that time will make you fade. But love like ours doesn't disappear, it lingers in the space. And there's a space you still hold in the middle of my chest, like a promise growing cold that refuses to rest. I've tried to drown the echo of your footsteps in the dark, but there's a space you still hold in the quiet of my heart. If I could fold the memory and put it out of sight, maybe I could finally sleep through one whole night. But every time I close my eyes, you're standing in the door, not asking to come back, just reminding me what for. Soft breakdown, maybe love doesn't leave, it just changes shape. Maybe you're not gone, you just live in that space. And there's a space you still hold, where forever used to be, like a story left untold, still breathing inside me. I'm learning how to carry it without falling apart. But there's a space you still hold in the center of my heart. And maybe someday it won't feel so strong, but tonight that space is where you belong. There's a space you still hold, and it's still holding me.
We were dancing on a thin line between forever and goodbye. Your fingers traced the promise, but your heart was passing by. You kissed me like you meant it, like I was all you'd ever find. But even in your arms, I felt you weren't all mine. You said, don't ask for answers, let's just stay right here tonight. But love that hides in shadows never survives the I was almost yours, never mind, close enough to taste forever, but too far to cross the line. You held me like a lover, but loved me like a lie. I was almost yours, but never truly mine. Your name lit up my phone screen like a spark against the dark. Every word you whispered left a fire in my heart. But you were always leaving before the morning came. I memorized your breathing while you forgot my name. You said, don't make it complicated. We don't need to define, but undefined devotion is just a slow decline. I was almost yours, never mind, standing in the space between your maybe and your goodbye. You held me like a secret, like something you could hide. I was almost yours, but never truly mine. If loving you was temporary, why did it feel so real? Why did every almost cut deeper than steel? I would have given all of me for something we could claim, but I was just the shelter from your unfinished pain. Soft braid out, almost the one you called at midnight, almost the one you choose, almost the love you held on to. But the first one you'd lose. I was almost yours, never mind, just a chapter in your story. You were never fully mine. You touched me like forever, but left me every time. I was almost yours, almost enough, but never truly mine. Now I'm learning how to let go of what we never were. I was almost yours, but never mine.
I remember how the silence felt when your footsteps faded down the hall. The walls were breathing in your shadow, like they couldn't let you go at all. Your coffee cup still on the table, the lipstick fading on the rim. I trace the place your hands once held me, and now the night is closing in. Every whisper in this empty room sounds like your goodbye. Every tear I never let you see falls when I close my eyes. I left my heart in the quiet, somewhere between your last embrace. In the stillness you created, there's a hollow shape like your face. I'm learning how to live without it, but I don't know where to start. You walked away with all the noise, and I left my heart in the quiet. Your side of the bed stays colder, like winter never left. I talk to you in the darkness, in the spaces we once kept. The clock keeps ticking like a memory that won't let me move ahead. Every second sounds like thunder in the silence you left. Every song we used to love feels heavier tonight. Every word I should have said is echoing inside. I left my heart in the quiet, somewhere between your last embrace. In the stillness you created, there's a hollow shape like your face. I'm learning how to live without it, but I don't know where to start. You walked away with all the noise, and I left my heart in the quiet. If silence is the price of loving you, then why does it scream so loud? I trade every peaceful moment just to hear you now. Maybe someday this empty room won't feel so wide apart, but tonight the only thing I own is this breaking heart. I left my heart in the quiet, buried underneath your name. In the calm before the leaving, nothing will ever be the same. I'm trying to breathe through the silence, but it's tearing me apart. You walked away with all the light, and I left my heart in the quiet. Now the silence is my only friend. It holds me through the night. I'm still here where you let go, and I left my heart in the quiet.